North Carolina had a really bad loss to Marquette last night. Not a great look for the Tar Heels as one of those blue bloods who wasn't doing very well, who's now trying to ride that bubble into the NCAA tournament. But it was what Roy Williams said after the game that made headlines. Take a listen.
What would you say to Carolina fans who are questioning whether or not it made sense to schedule this game considering the result?
Well, if I'd known we were going to lose, God Almighty, I wouldn't schedule the thing. Come on, we can't operate in damn hindsight. God Almighty. If you'd told me we were going to lose, hell yeah, we wouldn't have played the game. If you'd told me we were going to beat the Lakers, I'd have scheduled them. Carolina fans, they're not that dumb. If they are, I got no answers for them.
And he's off.
That's that old school. That's that old school coach was like, well, duh, I wouldn't have done it either. I mean, obviously, Danielle, we joked about it when we was talking about, like, oh, you wish Memphis could have scheduled Louisville or Georgia Tech. And it's like, I wish they could have scheduled it, but you don't know if they're going to win it, And obviously, this is a mark, but it's hilarious. I mean, it's the facts, the truth. Like, he thought, I thought we were going to win. If I had known that, I would have ran away from it too. It would have never been on my mind or my schedule.
There's something so, like, he's a college basketball coach of a great program, so I don't want to say wholesome about Roy Williams, but there is a level of, like, through his kind of, that question peeved him, and yet he was still so lovable in that moment. Like, the man took his coffee and left, and I'm still like, that Roy Williams, what a guy.
I will say this. I think with, I always joke that as you get older in life, you have less of a censor. And you just be like, I'm not going to say anything PC. I'm just going to say it like it is. And that's what I love about, and I love those old school type of coaches, like that old school mentality. You don't even have to be like older in generation wise. Just like that old school mentality. Like, I'm going to tell you like it is. Like, come on. Let's really sit down and talk. When I get frustrated, you're going to know I'm frustrated. But I'm going to say it in a way where I've always said this. You can be frustrated and put someone in their place without cursing. That's the moment, like, I'm putting fans in their place. And I'm going to walk off with my head held high and like, haha, mic dropped.
And it's funny. He didn't demean anybody in the process. Other coaches they're that old school coach, and they will demean fans, and they will demean the reporter. And Roy didn't have to do that. I'm looking at the net rankings right now, Megan.
Okay,
North Carolina sits at 44 in the net, 35 in the KenPom, 31 BPI, got a Sagarian rating of 29 and a KPI of 53. Now they got a good strength of record and a really good strength of schedule. Strength of schedule is at 14. Out of conference strength of schedule is at 17. But they only got one quad one win, 6 quad one losses. I'm not sure if North Carolina gets in, maybe they get into a play-in situation, that 10 seed play-in or something like that. It's going to be great to see what they do. You think they get in with stats like that? Only one quad one win, Megan.
I know. So here's the thing. When it comes to Durham and Chapel Hill, those fan bases have never seen a season like this, where not only do you have North Carolina not being the North Carolina that you're used to, but also Duke. And like, even that Duke North Carolina game wasn't as exciting. Okay, you beat Duke, you're like, okay, like that ain't nothing.
I mean,
like,
take it bigger picture college basketball, not just North Carolina and Duke, but think about what Kentucky is doing. Michigan State, although Michigan State is turning a corner, maybe, I hope not, but they look to be. Kansas also is struggling to get through the Big 12 right now. Those are your 5 of the past, 20 years? Those are the 5 best programs, head and shoulders above everybody else when you think about championships, Final Fours, NBA draft picks, recruiting rankings. Those are the premier programs in college basketball, and all of them are down-ish right now.
Yeah. Chris would like you to include Syracuse in that mix.
Syracuse is not in that mix.
They kind of got out of that conversation a couple of years ago.
Last couple of years,
yeah,
that's true.
But
they lost there in 2016. I think.
This has been like a very interesting college basketball. I think like now that it's always like when you get closer to like March Madness, you're like, okay, let me re-up myself on what's really going on. But a lot of it's because I'm not as interested, because when I was watching that, the teams that you're just so used to like dominating have not stepped up to the plate. You're just like, wow, this is a year where, in my opinion, will there be so whoever wins the NCAA tournament,
okay,
do you put